everyone, this is me, Financial Associates. On the other hand, I am making this video to share my bias on gold and how did this pump. Okay, how did this pump happen all of a sudden? Because if you see, it was just consolidation happening, and all of a sudden, why did this pump happen? Of course, it is because of fundamentals, but believe me, there are some set of things. If I told you that how you should approach the market, आप XAU USD को कैसे अप्रोच करे, तो it would just change your view. Okay, because market reacts in a set of way. Before going fundamentally, the volume coming in, market gives us the reason, tells us the reason where it is going to go. Okay, so yeah, so the video will be divided into two parts: the upcoming bias which I am expecting where gold will go, and the pump, the reason how to predict such pumps or to predict normally XAU USD. Okay, so this pump is just an example. So what I am trying to tell overall is to predict XAU USD, because we can't be sure, but there is an edge. Which I am trying to tell is there is an edge in the market where you can use it and increase the profitability of your decision or your bias. Okay, so yeah, let's begin this video. So first of all, this pump happened purely because of two reasons. One is NFP, and the second reason is the US-Iran conflict. Okay, I'll just write it down so no one gets confused. Reason is NFP. Second reason is, again, the most famous one, US-Iran war. Not even US-Iran war no more, it's conflict. Okay, so how does this conflict affect the pair XAU USD? Okay, बहुत लोगों को पता होगा, many of you guys would have known that how it affects, but it's for new people who are watching it, and if you know, it's well and good. But yeah, how US-Iran conflict affect the pair XAU USD is, if the war is going to happen, there are set of rumors. Okay, तो what are that rumors? ऐसा rumors होता है कि negotiations fail हो गए हैं. Okay, so then there are spikes, then there is volatility in gold that pushes the prices higher. So recent example, if I want to give you all, is it's recent. Okay, it's one of the recent price hike. Okay, so this was the reason. Okay, so this was the reason. From here, जो NFP, I guess if I am not wrong, ये NFP का candle है. Okay, forgive me if मैंने कुछ गलत बोला NFP का, क्योंकि I don't remember the date. Okay, so yeah, but ये जो NFP के बाद we were expecting some sells. Okay, so I don't remember the NFP का date. Okay, but जो pump था ये mostly gold का, that is because of NFP. And the second reason is US Iran ने, okay, I'll just write it down. Okay, Iran had mentioned there will be, okay, talks. Okay, I'll just cut it. Let's write it down. Yeah, there will be no more talks till 2029. Okay, so what they are trying to tell is कि बहुत हो गया, there have been a lot of talks and we didn't reach to a conclusion. Okay, so they are just telling us that we want no more talks and let us just control the Strait of Hormuz, and there will be no talks, negotiations going around till 2029. So that is the volatility, the uncertainty in the market. What will Trump do? Okay, will Trump attack Iran? Will Trump close the Strait of Hormuz? Will the rate of oil spike? And all these things, the fear in the market, जो ये कल पंप देखा था हमने, that is because of this. उसी के कारण ये पंप हुआ था. And if you want such news, join my Financial Associates fundamental group. I will just mention in my description, and for more such news, okay, because मैंने वहाँ mention किया था, I had mentioned in there that this is the reason and this is the statement Iran officials had given, and you can expect volatility. Same in US oil. Okay, so that is the reason fundamentally. Okay, now what's the technical reason? What's the technical reason which you all can see? Okay, which you all can use it daily till you trade. Okay, and believe me, if आपको वो समझ में आता है that how to approach XAU USD, you would dominate. Okay, not just trade, but you would dominate the whole XAU USD market. Okay, so let's begin that. Okay, so the reason, okay, why I'm telling how to approach, there is a way to approach XAU USD is that even I, okay, even I was seeing this consolidation. Price is in a range. Price is in a range of, okay, price is in a range of 4203 to, okay, in a range of 3942. Price is just consolidating in a range, and specifically this is the asset class that is called as XAU USD. It is not something a normal pair, okay, because there are billions of executions done in a day and many more. Okay, so if gold consolidate kar, if gold is consolidating in a range, there is a issue going on. Okay, and how to predict it? Okay, because even the most retail traders, which they do, okay, which separates us from them is that they start looking the charts from 15 minutes. Okay, I'm not telling 15 minutes, it's a wrong time frame to look at the charts, but to decide a bias, okay, to know where the price will go, you can't find it on 1 hour or 4 hour or not even a daily candle, daily charts. Okay, so that is the reason that separates us from the retail market. Because for me, if I am trading and in front of me, agar mere samne, so this is what I am seeing. Okay, this is what everyone is seeing. Mostly the traders which I see, or I see around, they go on a 4-hour chart, not even 1 day. Okay, less people go to 1 day, and mostly 15 minutes, 1 hour or 4 hour. Okay, so 1 hour mein you can see a price stuck into this. And moreover, if you just go here, there is a no clear set of narrative that will tell you where price will go. Okay, but if you know the support resistance or many other concept that is telling you that price will go somewhere else, then it's well and good. Okay, but for me, the hedge which is working into the market for almost a decade now for me, and it's performing very good. Okay, so that is what I'm sharing. Okay, so let me just delete this. Now listen to me carefully. Okay, this is the part where it gets the real sauce, which I'm dropping. Okay, so there is a very thin line. Okay, so there is actually a very thin line which separates us from 90 to 95% of the traders. Okay, so I want you all to guess. Okay, I had already mentioned in my past videos that what is that thing, and if you are watching Financial Associates, you will know. Okay, there is a thing which separates 90 to 95% of the traders from the rest of the 5%. Okay, I'm not telling that 5% people are superior, उनको कुछ ज़्यादा पता है, नहीं. There is a very small thing. Okay, and I want to tell that 90 to 95% people that you should know this. Okay, it would be very helpful. So these are those 5%. Okay, the thing that separates us from 90 to 95% people who are watching me, that separates us from the whole retail crowd is, I'll just write it down. Okay, bias. Having a bias will separate you from 90 to 95% of the retail market. Okay, specifically when trading gold, आपको पता होना चाहिए where gold will go, how gold will affect, how gold will be affected there to go, and what is the reason. Okay, having a specific bias. Okay, whether it it can be right or it can be wrong, but having a bias helps you to see a narrative where the price will go, and to see a context overall. Because this market, if you watch it from 1 hour or even 15 minutes, it's just an ocean, and it's just a silent ocean, and all of a sudden there will be a lot of chaos. So you have to be prepared for that. Okay, and having a bias prepares you for that upcoming chaos. Okay, so you should not be stuck in a wave, or in a upcoming wind, in this ocean. So okay, I hope you understand what I'm trying to tell and how I'm trying to portray it. Okay, so yes, let me just delete this. Okay, but remember this. Okay, yeah. And even if you are seeing me closely or observing me, the most important thing which I tell in the starting of the video, in the 10-15 minutes, or even in the 5-10 minutes, is bias. So okay, it's very important. Okay, I'll just add it, shift here. Yeah, so how did having a bias help me that that it is going to actually pump here, and it's very clear. Okay, so before that everyone knows that what the role of fair value gap is. But for the people, if they don't know what fair value gap is, so if let's suppose, okay, I hope that many of you guys knew that what is fair value gap, but this is for the audience that if they don't know, I'm just telling out. Okay, so you can just skip this part if you want, but yeah. So fair value gap is just the gap that is formed between two of the candles. Okay, so let's assume that if we go here, this is the first candle. Okay, let me just zoom it. Okay, this is the first candle, this is the second candle, and this is the third candle. The gap, if you see the gap, this is the fair value gap. And the function of fair value gap is, fair value gap क्या करता है, वो अब एक it's like a magnet. Okay, it's like a magnet in the market. At it pulls the price towards it. वो price को अपने तरफ जोर से pull करेगा. It's like that magnet is attracting the iron price. Okay, what do I mean to tell is, ये जो price movement है ऊपर नीचे जा रहा है, जो candles है, that is iron. Okay, and the fair value gap is the magnet. So the fair value gap will eventually pull the price towards it. Okay, now if you understand fair value gap, you had already पता चल गया होगा आपको कि what I am trying to tell. Okay, if you understand the role of fair value gap, you almost had cracked down the rest of the video. Okay, so this is what fair value gap is. The gap formed between is called the fair value gap. Okay, so let me just delete it first. Okay, I don't want the obstacles. So let me just go to a monthly candle. Okay, because as I said, you can't find a bias on a 4-hour time frame, or even on a 1 day. You have to go to higher time frames, the time frames which decides the upcoming month or the week of the price. So this was the fair value gap which I saw. Okay, this was the fair value gap, most importantly, which I saw when I just looked at the market. Okay, I will just keep it there. So when the price was actually around here, okay, it was a thing where price was around here. It was the price range, if you can see, the price was actually consolidating here. And if we see to the 4-hour, and if we go to the 4-hour, and this is what even most of the people and even I was seeing. Okay, let's just assume that if we just delete this, and this is just a random chart in front of you. Okay, let's just delete this, and even you don't know all this. Okay, you don't know all this stuff. This is the dense ocean, the scariest ocean in front of you. This is the open market in front of you. Most of the retail traders will go to 1 hour. See this 15 minutes. It even gets scarier. ये इसमें तो फिर you can't understand something. Okay, आप 4 hour में तो you can understand something, but not much, but on 15 minutes though it's null and zero. It's zero, you can't understand. That's why I had mentioned the more the higher the time frame, the story tells you. Okay, I go to the monthly time frame, and when the price was around consolidation, okay, where if I want to tell कि यहाँ पे था, okay, price was around here, प्राइस वॉज अराउंड ईयर, हम याद है, ओके, बट यहाँ पे आई वुडेंट से कि मैं इस ट्रेड में था, ओके, आई वोंट से कि दैट आई वॉज इन टू दिस ट्रेड और यू नो आई हैड अ ट्रेड, आई कॉट दिस सेटअप, बट आई न्यू द बायस ऑफ माई गोल्ड, okay, bias of my pair which is XAUSD which I like to trade, that eventually it has to go there. Okay, there are no set of things that it will stop this. Okay, it's like a hedge. I was not sure the 100%, or there are possible things ki ek percent ki the fundamentals, random fundamentals can come into the market and push the whole narrative into a different set of things. So that's why I was sure the hedge which I used was 97 to 98% probability in the market that it was going to happen. Okay, so the the role of fair value gap which I had mentioned. Okay, let's just forget that this is a monthly candle or it's a daily candle, or let's just forget the time frame. If मैं आपको पूछता हूँ कि if price is here and there are two things, okay, you can see, of course this is not the fair value gap which many would have seen, but let's just assume, okay, this is the fair value gap and this is the fair value gap. Okay, so I was confused, okay, because when the price was here, somewhere around here, there are two things. The closest one is this fair value gap, if you can I just zoom in a bit, and the thing was here. But then even we had NFP and also a news. Okay, if you go to my news channel and check out till here, somewhere around here in that specific point where the pump started, जहाँ से pump start हुआ था, I had dropped comment or tweet in my Telegram channel that US Iran का conflict which was silent is starting again. Okay, now it creates a sort of uncertainty, that push, that volume we need to pump this market. Okay, so I I don't remember 100% what was the news, but there was a volume जो push मिला हमें, the volatility which came into the market, that was because of US Iran का stuff. Okay, that was because of US Iran, and I'll just mention it in the description if possible. Okay, so that is the thing, and उसके वजह से we had got that fundamental pump. Okay, this long candle, if you see, we could have just pumped like this, just going up then down, and then we could have seen a normal price action. But if you remember the role of fair value gap, if I had mentioned a few minutes back ago, the fair value gap is like a magnet. You can see this candle, first candle, second candle, third candle, the gap between here, the fair value gap act like a magnet. वो अपने तरफ जो कैंडल्स है, दैट इज आयरन रॉड विच आई एम गिविंग एग्जांपल, इट अट्रैक्ट्स द प्राइस टुवर्ड्स इट, एंड दैट इज द सिंपल थिंग व्हेन आई जब मैं मंथली टाइम फ्रेम में गया एंड आई सॉ दिस. ओके, सो व्हाट इज गुड फॉर यू टू सी? ओके, व्हेन यू आर अ ट्रेडर एंड यू आर ट्रेडिंग, what is good for you to see? All this consolidation, or just go to the monthly time frame and see this. Okay, and see this monthly time frame ka fair value gap. Okay, so what is the best thing to see? The 4 hour or the 1 month? You know the answer. Okay, and you need to know the fundamentals behind it, where it will go. So you have to see the news channels, the tweets, many other things. Okay, so yeah, that is the reason how I predicted that this fair value gap will eventually pull the price towards it. And there are many more set of things, but if I started telling all them, ki ye pump, the probability, the hedge that was sure that it will go, was many more things, but the video will be long. Okay, so again, this is just the first part of the video, and the second part, the bias. Okay, the second part, let's just stay here, and the second part, the important part. Okay, I want to share the bias on gold. Okay, so this is the main part where it all starts. Okay, so if I go here, let me just delete this. No, let it stay, and even this. So after NFP, or after that news, that we were expecting the price to go there. Okay, so price went there. Okay, I don't think so. Yeah, NFP के वजह से pump हुआ था. It is just because of the fundamentals. I can't remember that date. But if you see, if you go to my group and just check out there, you will get a reason. I will just mention it. Don't worry. It was Bulgaria or something. If I don't remember it completely. But yeah, it was because of NFP and due to US Iran. Two major news that put the volatility or the volume into the market. Because if you see, what do I mean when I say volume and volatility? This pump, in the whole rally, if you see, there are less sell candles, 1 2 3 4, and the pumps, the pumps which we can see, the green candles, and there is no set of retracement, just tells us the volume, the volatility in the market in XAUUSD is much more than ever. Okay, and this fair value gap will eventually pull the price towards it. Okay, so that's the thing. When price almost came till here, it was just in between this fair value gap and this fair value gap. But the news, if you knew the news ki what kya news tha, then it would have been 100% clear that yes, we are going for this pump. Okay, and as I had mentioned, this monthly fair value gap. Okay, if you see this monthly fair value gap where the triangle starts, if I just highlight it here, and if I go to the daily candle, and अब इस context में अगर आप समझोगे कि if I even go to the low time frame, more low time frame, if I just go here, and if you see कि यहाँ से let's assume from here in the middle that the fair value gap, the magnet, which I had mentioned, for people who don't understand about fair value gap, or they have other different concept, it's good, it's nothing wrong. Okay, everyone has their view, but yeah, जो fair value gap था, that was pulling the price towards it like no one ever did. Okay, so it went there, and then जो हमारा वापस से US ईरान का जो ये talks था, okay, I guess it was here. Okay, जो ये talks था, even after tapping into this monthly fair value gap, which is this, I was expecting dump. Okay, I was expecting dump, but the reason I had mentioned, ये Iran had clearly mentioned that there will be no talks till 2029, and जो uncertainty था वो और ही बढ़ गया. Okay, there was no reason that we can expect that XAUUSD will eventually dump due to the uncertainty, due to NFP. Yeah, that's the reason. अब आते हैं we are actually on that topic bias, but yeah, let's go more deeper. Okay, so after coming from monthly, we can go to weekly. Okay, but on weekly there is a thing which I see. Okay, the thing which I see is, let me just delete this. The thing which I see is this fair order block. Okay, this order block's body. Okay, I won't say wick. This order block's body, I won't say wick. Okay, because this is the wick, and this is the order block's body. Okay, there are set of things that are different, and how they work is different. So if I want to tell you all is, I would expect a fall from here. Okay, I would expect a reversal, or what I want to say is sells. Okay, because I'm still into sells. Yeah, so this is the reason from where I can expect some dump or a dump till here, because even on one day it had left many fair value gaps that needs to be filled. Because if everyone is buying gold, there should be someone, or there should be some volatility, which is the forex famous for. Okay, it's just the instinct that you get after trading for many years, that we need to kick some buyers, or we need some manipulating that creates a volatility. We should need that. Okay, so this is from where I am expecting volatility. Okay, if I go to the weekly order block, so from here, okay, मैं यहाँ से expect कर सकता हूँ कि we can see some reversals. Okay, because yeah, so from here I can expect some reversals, or what I can say is some dumps. Okay, so from here I can wait on my lower time frames, which is daily time frame, okay, or hourly time frame, not less than that. Okay, or even 1 hour if you want to take a bit risk, even 1 hour works. Okay, so after tapping into this, I would expect a dump till here. From here, the craziest thing. Okay, now if you are into this video till now, I would give you a gift, or something that will be so much easy to understand that why I am expecting lower prices. Okay, so this is for someone. Okay, because this is just a random part of the video, I just wanted to give you all a sauce, why, what my bias is, and it will make the things clear. Okay, so if I go to the 6 month time frame, okay, 6 month time frame, I will just delete this. Okay, I'll just delete this, and there is a thing, okay, which you can see, and which I had shared my concept on. मैंने concept बोला था, and I guess you should have known it, okay, till now. So I am talking about this fair value gap. This is the gift, which I would like to give, because मैं ये starting में ही बोल देता, but the reason, जो मैंने एक narrative build किया, अगर मैं वो पहले ही बोल देता, you won't have respected that, or you won't have known that कि how much the useful this fair value gap is. Okay, on a 6 month time frame, what do I see is this low fair value gap. And the next thing is, what is the PDRA, okay, on a 6 month time frame, which is closer to the price, which is attracting the price. On a 6 month time frame, I see this low. Okay, I see this ongoing candles low. Okay, on a higher time frame, every single PDRA matters. Okay, so I will tell again, on a higher time frame, every single PDRA matters. This low, okay, I'll just make it a bit up. Yeah, this low, and then this fair value gap. So the closest the price are to this PDRA is, it's more than, it's not possible. Okay, until and unless there is a fundamental or something, things, some incident happen, or some economic disaster happen, that can make this pump. Okay, that can make this pump from here. Okay, from here I am calling, you can remember the date, 12/8/2026. Okay, 12/8/2026, which is August. Okay, it is August, and it's the date, it's 12, and the time is 2011. Okay, so it's Indian time zone. Okay, of course, and it's the New York session that I am expecting. From here, the edge which I use, okay, I'll not write it here. Yeah, from the edge which I use is, I am seeing XAUUSD go. What is the time frame? This 3934. 3934. From is most important, because currently the price is almost, if we are expecting from this is the order block. If we go to this, okay, this is the order block, which we had mentioned back in the time. From we can expect sales. So from here till the fair value gap. Okay, if we go to the 6 month time frame, and if we just measure it, how much pips or how much percent that I'm expecting is, it's almost 12% dump in XAUUSD. Now believe me, this is not something small thing to tell, because expecting a 12.36% dump, and the pips are something crazier. Okay, it's 5560 something. Okay, 5560 pips dump from the current price, or not from the current price, from the price area which we expect, is something crazy to call out. But I am damn sure that 95 to 97% that it is going to happen. Okay, and the rest of the 5 to 4%, which is, if the fundamental goes wrong, there is an economic disaster or something more crazy happens that injects fear into the market can pump. Okay, but more importantly, 95 to 96% I am expecting a dump from 4489, which is, I'll just write it down here. I'm seeing Xauusd go 3 and 4 from 3, not 3, 4, 4, 9, 3, around that range. Okay, I'm not sure about the price, but around that range, if you see. Okay, the date I had mentioned, date today is 12 August, which is 8 and 2026. Okay, not this, yeah, 2026. So I'm expecting gold to go 3934 from now, or not from now, after market taps into this thing. Okay, so that is my bias for gold, and this bias can continue till months, or mostly for months. Okay, not about that, but yeah, seeing the volatility and the things in the market, it won't take much time. Okay, zyada time nahi lega, but yeah. Okay, so y'all can have view, y'all can expect gold to go 5000 or 6000 or 7000, but this is the thing which I'm telling technically. Okay, and the fundamentals, I don't know much about that, but surely if I knew something, I would mention into my channel, and yeah, we would just modify it. So this is the base model. Okay, for my base, which is having a bias and I'm expecting sales, we had laid out a plan into the market, and we have to wait and see how price reacts to react to it. So this will be a long series. Okay, so if I see, if I started getting confirmation, I will just post the second video. Okay, so I will name this series, and you will see, of course, in the video's name, what is the name of this series. But yeah, let's begin this series. Okay, so yeah.